Good evening, all. We are three students from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, and we were placed in the MEHAC Foundation for a month as a part of our mandated fieldwork in the curriculum. MEHAC is short for Mental Healthcare and Research Foundation. It's a not for profit organization which works in the southern part of Kerala since 2008. It's one of the pioneers that have tried to adopt the principles of palliative care in mental health. Um I guess you could call MEHAC Foundation as working in the field of community psychiatric care, community mental health. Uh, this clinic that we're seeing in the video is the Kavalam clinic, which is about 90 kilometers away from MEHAC's office. So MEHAC sees works through functions from 22 clinics, and through these clinics they see about 88% of their clientele, and the rest of the 12% they see through home visits. 90% of the mental health people with mental illnesses that MEHAC sees are people who can't afford mental health care. As you will see in a later picture, the consultations because of COVID are not happening inside the clinic, but they're happening through a window. This one. These are some fruits that are there in the MEHAC's office. Some of them I don't know, like this one. This is pepper. It's a creeper. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce the three students. The first one is Movzir, who is dreaming about fieldwork right now. This is Seren, very dedicated, very sincere. And this is me, Pulak. And I'm just embarrassing myself here. Yes. Now you'll be seeing a string of photos of animals and pets that we saw during our initial visits, home visits in Alleppey. It's something that I noticed as an outsider, that there would always be some pet or the other, a turkey, a sheep, a dog, a cat, and also vegetation, fruits, greenery around the house. The houses would be pakka. Although these are rural areas and these are below poverty line families, BPL families, but it's good to know that specifically to in respect to Kerala, that these are the conditions in which they're staying. Also, another thing specific to Kerala is, and these districts, is that they are supported by state pensions, most of them, even though it's not a lot in terms of amount, but it's good to know that they have a little bit of support. Something really dramatic happened. The demise of one of our clients was, this is how it was disclosed to us, posted on a coconut tree. The house was near a beach, so we pondered about life and death. So the houses are not really close to each other. You have to walk a lot. Also, MEHAC liaisons with NGOs and panchayats and government bodies to. So, for example, for the Alleppey home visits, and as you can see here, some of the volunteers check up on the clients when, because the psychiatrist cannot do that on a regular basis, and the van that has the medication follows us around wherever we go for visits, and if there needs to be a renewal, uh, we do that. Just before this, the car that you saw was of Grow Plus, which is a skill development uh, training organization, and we went there to rehabilitate one of our clients. This is again us going on. This is on our way to the Kavalam clinic. So MEHAC in general has to travel a lot in order to uh, dispense its services. The furthest being the clinic in Attapadi in Palakkad, which is 200 kilometers from Ernakulam, and the closest being So therefore these are monthly clinic visits, because you cannot I mean, it's not possible for you to do weekly clinic visits. Um, uh, and the home visits, like for districts like Alapi, it's 50 to 60 kilometers, and therefore they are weekly and bi-weekly. Although because of COVID, Mehak has had to do a lot of changes in the way it functions. They've had to do a lot of psycho education and enhance their skills. They've started doing teleconsultation with known clients, just to as opposed to say a clinic visit or a home visit. For really dire or emergent cases, they do make it a point to at least do a video consultation or ask the client to come and do a clinic visit. So now we'll be going through a series of clinics quickly. This is a library slash CPI office where MEHAC functions from. This is a workstation in MEHAC. Anakulam. This is again Alapi, Beggar's Home, and a clinic. This is an organization, Christian organization, Women's Destitute Home, where MEHAC functions from. So there are a lot of makeshift clinics where MEHAC functions from. Uh, okay, this is a video of. So this is a women's shelter home, which is supported by a Christian organization, and so the clients both are from within the destitute home and from the outside, and so they are informed prior that these visits are going to happen, so they take appointments and come and meet. This is the Tata Hospital in Chota Nikara, where a small room has been given to Mehak for consultations. This is Arun sir, and so the advantage of being in Mehak was the rich resource persons that we had, and so any doubts that we had at any point, we could just pick the brains of Poonama ma'am, of Arun sir, for anything and everything that we don't know. This is again, so each person, the just before this you saw was the panchayat office, and each person in Mehak is not just doing the work that they're skilled in. So the HR person is not just looking after HR, but also looking after fundraising, also looking after licensing. The psychiatrist is doing consultations in the Mehak office. Is doing home visits, but it's also doing licensing a little bit. So there's a lot of sharing of responsibilities. It's a very close team, and it doesn't feel like uh, it doesn't feel like an organization that has, responsibility strictly relegated to people, which is good in a way, because it's more humane, it's more real. It's like I wouldn't say a startup culture, but it's the people are really close. This is the furthest clinic that we had to visit in Attapadi. uh, I saw the sunrise after a long time. These are the meandering sort of routes that we have to take in order to go to Palakkad. Again, a lot of traveling, but I think it's a part of the way Mehak functions, and the making genuine human connections and caring about the patients and not seeing them as numbers. It's but again, there is a lack of a steady revenue generating mechanism or a model. Therefore, you know uh, we have we are trying to do this crowdfunding thing. So in terms of funds, Mehak is supported by individual funders. It's supported by uh, for certain projects, it's supported by CSR projects. It's also supported by uh, the local government, governance, local panchayats. This is the Attapadi clinic. So we were also working on the MHLQ for the Me Help organization, which is the mental health literacy questionnaire. So trying to gauge the understanding of the local people about mental health. This is again a clinic, a community clinic in Palakkad, and this is run by community volunteers. We also got to stay with them. We're also doing a family caregiver burden survey on our own. So we're doing two surveys on the side, along with again observing what MEHAC does. And yeah, I think that's about as much as you can do in a 10-minute video. This is the team, and this has been a wonderful experience.